I am finally back after some injuries and starting a new series, Daily Market Updates. I will be covering everything from swing trading setups to news in mostly the semiconductor sector, American and European stocks. Let's get started. There is currently a wave of big tech companies establishing large data centers in Taiwan. Previously, Microsoft, Amazon, and Nvidia have already made new data center investments in the country. Now, there are rumors that Apple will follow with significant investments. The article on screen is translated via Google from Money UDN, a Taiwanese newspaper, so the sentence structure might be a bit off. The biggest winner is expected to be Han Hai Precision Industry. Wow, a new exciting company, you might think. Nope. Han Hai is Foxconn. Han Hai is the company's actual name, while Foxconn is the trade name or brand. It's also worth noting that Foxconn includes several subsidiaries like Foxconn Technology and Foxconn Industrial Internet. These companies are separate and have their own stocks listed, but they still fall under the Han Hai Group. Confusing, I know. It might seem complicated, but the important thing to remember is that everything is under Han Hai's umbrella, more or less. I have always highlighted the significant investments of big tech companies in Taiwan as a reason why I don't believe China will invade the country. I mean, if the risk of an invasion were as high as some suggest, do we really think that some of the world's most skilled capital allocators would pour billions into Taiwan? I don't think so. Could I be wrong? Yes, I have been wrong many times before. But I must admit, I would be more nervous if these big companies stopped investing in the country or expressed concerns about new investments there. Instead, we see the opposite. One major reason tech giants choose Taiwan is due to the vast supply of components from companies like Taiwan Semiconductors for semiconductors and Han Hai for virtually everything else in electronics. Being able to work close to their suppliers is an advantage in planning, design, and execution. Another highlighted advantage is Taiwan's supply of green energy for these data centers. As you know by now, all new data centers will require massive amounts of energy. If you want to hear more about the energy demand and AI, please comment and I will make sure to create a video on the topic. Han Hai, which supplies both data centers and green energy companies, is thus highlighted as the big winner in big tech's data centers in Taiwan. Han Hai is up roughly 100% in 2024 and has had a strong start to the year. In April, Foxconn delivered a revenue of $15.3 billion, increasing revenue by 19% compared to the same period the previous year. AI is highlighted as the major driver of the company's growth. Despite the strong 100% rise this year, the stock is traded at only a P/E ratio of 19 and a forward-looking P/E of 17.27. After 4 trading days of market rotation, we were back yesterday to the theme that has dominated the year, AI and tech. Yesterday, it was more or less only semiconductor companies and the larger tech companies that performed strongly, while the majority of all value sectors were sold off. A pattern we have seen for most of the year. Nvidia led the rise, bouncing up by plus 6.76%. I'm a bit bitter, of course, that I closed my swing trade position just before the bounce. But at the same time, I shouldn't be too bitter. The trade landed at plus 45%. After yesterday, there are several good setups from the USA. Among them is OSAT company Amkor Technology, which has broken out of its range and seems poised for further gains. Equipment manufacturer ACLS, which I added to my coffee can in April, has broken nicely out of its falling wedge and is now flagging again. I would interpret a breakout of the flag as a new buy signal in the stock. Snapchat is another company that broke out nicely yesterday. In the larger perspective, it certainly looks like a solid cup and handle. Yesterday, there was one new position in the dip buying portfolio, Mercado Libre. The trading portfolio is currently fully invested, and no new positions will be added until something hits the stop or reaches its targets. In my momentum portfolio, new holdings was re-added after it was in and out on Monday. Novo Nordisk was also added to the portfolio after a new breakout on the upside. Generally, the activity is higher in the momentum portfolio. Perhaps not in terms of the number of positions, but it can at least be quicker in and out of a position. We have much tighter stop losses in that portfolio than in the dip buying portfolio. This is because in a breakout strategy, you almost always have a win ratio of less than 50%. This means there are many breakouts that will be bought, and many that will fail. You don't want to be stuck in a failed breakout, hence the tight stop. But why trade with a strategy where the win ratio is below 50%, you might wonder. Well, historically, it's also with momentum strategies that you find the biggest winners. The big winners should pay off all the smaller losses taken along the way. Novo broke out nicely to new ATH, and we'll see if the stock can follow up its breakout in the coming days. Looking at Sweden, I think AstraZeneca looks good. It hasn't broken out yet, but a break would be interpreted as a buy signal. Yesterday after the European close, news came that Volkswagen plans to invest $5 billion in the American electric vehicle manufacturer Rivian. The company has been short on cash, and the news came as a gift from above. The stock rose by 49% in after-hours trading and is definitely interesting to keep an eye on today. Even today, it's calm in terms of macro. The most exciting thing we have to look at is new home sales and crude oil inventories from the USA. That's it for today's market update. See you guys tomorrow again.